Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And happy Monday to everyone. Came across some information I thought was pretty important to share with you guys. So I'm going to be doing that here in today's live stream. And before we get started, like we always do, for those of you, and you guys are crazy. Some of you guys get here like an hour or two beforehand. I can't believe it. But nonetheless, if you're with us today on the live, please submit your questions, your comments in the chat. That helps drive the program. Without that, it's just a 20-minute video. If you're watching this, can't make it, you're watching this after the fact, sorry you couldn't make it. Maybe next time. We do this Mondays and most Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern is our set schedule to do these lives. So you guys know we'll be here. And for those of you who are watching after the fact, put your comments down below, your questions and comments. But no matter how you're watching this video, just do one thing for me and hit that like button. That's all I ask for. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler's Trading Post, Prosser Independent Trading Company, Shinville General, Nico Riley, Biscuit Butt, Ed the Reselling Writer, Wanda Greer, let's see, Noah Design 2, Cali Debs, 97 Deep Valley Road, Stamford, Connecticut, Ping G, and
I sure hope that's not your real address.
I know. I know. We're going to be, only thing that's missing is the zip code. Okay, so let's get started with all that said. So, you know what? I keep getting, emails, and I don't mind your emails. And let me just say this. There's a viewer, I won't throw her under the bus or call her out because, I mean, she means well. Look, I want to help as many people as I can. And there's times that I'll go through my comments on the videos, and it's usually late at night. I'm just going through it and just trying to address and answer as many comments as I can. And there's, from a year ago to now, it's like double the number of comments that I get. So it's really hard to keep up. And sometimes I'm going to miss a comment or a question, and it's not intentional. I'm not trying to avoid anyone. I sometimes I'll sit and actually tackle the tougher questions. But please don't get upset if I don't answer your comment. This particular viewer sent me an email, and I missed that one a week ago. And then I got an email saying, do you even answer your emails? So I'm like, wait. So I go back and find that, look, she's upset. She's upset because items that are selling a year ago aren't selling now. Things have slowed down, and, just asking a lot of questions, feeling that like eBay is like sabotaging smaller accounts in favor of the larger accounts. And I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think that's the case at all. I think you have more sellers competing for the same business with fewer buyers. That's because of the economy. And when, you look at the accounts, I looked at the account, this particular viewer was that she has, and I replied this information back to her as well, that, when you have a store of, say, like, let's say 100 to 200 items, first of all, you need to grow your store a little bit more than that. And also, if you're doing the proper homework, you'll see that, let's just say, for an example, a vintage gold necklace. Okay. If you have a bunch of those for sale, well, do you even know what your competition looks like? So if you're looking at this eBay search, type in, do it now while we're talking to see what I'm talking about. Vintage gold necklace in an eBay search. And then tell me how many items pop up, how many listings pop up in that search. Well, from what I saw last night, it was over 100,000 listings. Okay. So if you have 200 items, and let's just say a dozen of those happen to be gold vintage necklace, well, you're going to be buried somewhere in those 100,000 listings. And if you're not in page 1 and 2, most buyers are going to give up. They're going to probably find what they're looking for. Maybe they'll venture to page 3 and 4, but at some point they're going to give up. They're not going to go to page 200 where you might be. And that might be why you're not getting the page views and thus the sales. So that's why your traffic is so important. You talk about, I got these listings, I got no views. That's because you're probably in a saturated market and you're probably buried. And, part of it is your sourcing, why do you keep sourcing things that everyone else wants to sell? Maybe it's interesting to you. Maybe it's fun to you. Easy. Maybe you're knowledgeable about it. I get it, right? We all are passionate about some of the things that we deal with and some of the things that we sell. I get it. But you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball if you decide, you know what, I'm only going to sell this and I'm going to ignore everything else. So you niche out to a category that's super saturated, and then your listings are just basic. You don't have a store. You don't have a markdown sale. You don't have coupons. You don't even use promoted listings. And you wonder why your sales aren't where you feel like they should be.
There's a reason why John talks so loudly about all of the things that you should do as a store. There's a reason why your items are being viewed and not viewed. If you don't follow the way that eBay wants us to run a store, then you're not going to make the sales that you think that you should.
Yeah. And, there's so many components. And I think sometimes we have this mentality that I just got to do a quick list and it's done. But see, if you make your listings basic, if you don't play eBay's game, eBay is going to put you in the search, but not where you want to be. And I keep stressing this, and I don't think I can say it enough, but there's so many people out there who are watching this right now that are so set in their ways. They refuse to promote properly or at all. They refuse to get a store when they probably should. And if you're over 100 listings, it's probably time to go with a basic store. And you know what? I get it. Look, we have a no return policy because we fear paying for a return label, money out of pocket, right? We don't have a store because we fear paying the $21.95 a month. We cannot fear investing in our business if you want to succeed.
If you're going to be a serious seller, you have to comply with the way that you're going to run your business on eBay. eBay has certain things that it wants you to do. And if you're not doing them, they're going to penalize you, and they're going to put you on page, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I mean, there 100,000, over 100,000 listings.
Just from that particular search.
That particular search.
You do a Nike sweatshirt, you're going to find more than that, way more than that you're going to be competing against. So, it's very important. That's why I sell everything. I don't, people ask me, why don't I niche down? Well, number one, I have an opportunity with all these shoes, but number one, I don't have the constant source for one type of item. So I'm constantly looking not just for a specific item, but for an item that I can see in the comps that has recent activity, that has a high level of sales. Like, I wish eBay had this. There's a tool called Keepa on Amazon where you can actually go in and actually it's Keepa, but there's also another term. I think it's the Amazon calculator. You can have it in your, it's like a little background program that runs when you're looking at an Amazon listing, and it'll tell you the projected number of items, that particular item, the projected number of times that item is going to sell in a given month. And then when you're buying it, well, this thing sold 1,000 times in a given month. If I price it competitively, I'm going to get some of that action. eBay doesn't have anything like that. So you have to go into the solds, go in and see what's sold. It'll show you how many sales up on the left-hand side of the screen, how many sales have sold or items have sold in the last 90 days based on the search that you put in. Now, when you're not looking at the sold, it's going to say, here's what you're up against. Okay. And there's a lot of people who will say, oh, look, it's sold for $50. I'm going to buy it. But maybe that's the only one that's sold in the last 90 days. So you're going to be sitting on that. And then if you kind of happen to go back and look, oh, I'm up against 100 listings to sell one item, maybe that's not the best item for you to be spending your money on. But yet we're so focused on the things that we like. I think it was postcards. I looked up vintage postcards, and it was like 5 million active listings. I mean, how do you get on page 1 and 2 for that? And so for me, I'm interested in sourcing things. We sold like 40 something items from Friday until last night. I mean, we were shipping like crazy. She was out there like hustling. So we had a lot of stuff to ship out, and even stuff that I had just bought over the weekend on Saturday was selling, and we're shipping it out. And it's because we're focusing on things that have a quick flip possibility, like video game controllers. I mean, we're listing toys, we've been listing shoes. That stuff's been selling. Winter shoes are selling very good right now. So these are all things that you should keep an eye out, and you need to be flexible with the market. Get out of your comfort zone. And yes, maybe at some point it'll return back to a place where you can actually sell those vintage gold necklaces. But in the meantime, I'm not saying not to sell them, but expand your store. Start finding items that meet the criteria that I was talking about, looking at the solds, looking at the competition, and start looking for items like that. And you're going to see a huge difference in your sales. I think if I go back here and look, just to give you a kind of an update, sales are where I want them to be. I had a Friday, a $613 Friday, $215 Saturday, which, isn't great, $450 Sunday. And today we're at like $150. We still have the evening to go. A lot of people come home from work and buy stuff. So I'm not worried about today. Already have 5 items sold. And I mean, we've been averaging like 5 to 12, closer to 10, really, a day in sales. And you know what? Now I know
Q4 is here. I can say that now.
Someone's making sales. And if you're not, then it's not because eBay hates you. It's not because your account is flagged. It's because you are doing something wrong. Okay. And it could be you're doing everything right on the eBay side. You might be selling the wrong stuff. You might be selling the right stuff, but doing everything wrong on the eBay side. Okay. Or you could be listing once a week and never looking at your eBay account until the following week and wondering, well, I'm not giving eBay the consistency it needs. And well, why? And why am I not getting sales but here and there? So there's so many factors, and you can't just say it's one thing. It's a combination of everything. So I keep hammering on this point, and I don't know if it's people who haven't watched my videos or this channel, but I guess I'm going to have to keep hammering on this point when I get this question, because there's so many things. If you're not making the sales you want to make, there's so many things you can do differently. And to keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, is just the definition of insanity. And I want you guys to get out of that mentality, because it's more than just eBay not liking you. So off the soapbox on that issue. Okay, I will scroll in a minute. I'm not done with my soapbox. Part 2. Well, no, because there's people that were talking about the authentication problem. I sent out a short about this. I don't know if you guys are tuning in, if you saw the short, but the eBay short or the YouTube short that I put out was a situation I encountered. My Christian Louis Vuitton, or for those of you who've seen my videos earlier, is the Louboutins. The Christian Louis Vuitton shoes that I sold were earmarked for eBay authentication. Okay. And we were mailing those out today. They're due to go out today. And the problem is, I'm looking at it, when I go to print the label, it's wanting me to buy the label. I'm like, but wait, according to eBay's policy, they're providing a FedEx label that the buyer is paying for. Now, I noticed that the buyer paid my shipping policy, and I'm like, well, wait, that's weird. And so I'm like, okay, let me call eBay. And I actually got someone from the authentication department. I think they're based out in Utah, and actually had a conversation, which was really good. I learned a lot, and kind of passing this on to you. But she was going through her notifications that she received, and apparently they were bringing people in on this program where the label is paid for by the buyer, $14.95, and then eBay supplies you, the seller, with the FedEx label. And only a handful of people after the 10th of October were set up, and everyone was now set up. So every seller is now set up as of the 8th of November to get this free label. However, if you've listed an item prior to the 8th of November, a pair of shoes that need authentication, and it sells after the 8th of November, it's going to be all screwed up. So it's not going to, like the Louis Vuittons, the buyer paid me my shipping, and I'm shipping that to the authentication center through UPS ground, right? But the other pair of shoes, I sold some LeBrons, and those sold for 45 plus shipping. However, the invoice was showing $45 plus tax, and it wasn't giving them any shipping. And on their side at eBay, they're saying, well, the buyer looks like they're only supposed to pay 45, even though it shows that they're supposed to pay the $9 and whatever shipping it's supposed to be. And so it's just a mess. And she said the way to find out if you're set up for the authentication process, just to verify, is to take a pair of shoes that you have listed that are earmarked for the authentication process and go in and sell similar. Like right click, sell similar, scroll down to your shipping, and you should see a FedEx logo, and it says eBay provides free shipping label, that type of thing. Then you know you're going to be set up. And it's going to require all sellers that sell shoes that have listings prior to the 8th of November to go in, end the listing, and sell similar to get that problem fixed. And had this conversation with the rep, not just me guessing. She said, you're right. You're going to have to do that because it looks like there's a glitch here. So through a lot of questions and stuff like that, we found that that could be a problem. It's going to be a problem for me. Like, this person's not buying this pair of shoes. I sent them a message saying, and the thing is, it's not even having me send it to the authentication center on these LeBrons. It has their actual address. So it's
because of the dollar amount?
No, it has nothing to do with the dollar amount. It has to do with it's based on the actual brand and select models of the shoe. So if you sell like, we had a pair of Nikes we sold for like $50, but they're not on this list and it wasn't required for any authentication. So in this particular case, these LeBrons were advertising the listing for authentication. They've even uploaded their little video into my listing. It's all over the place, the blue check mark saying authentication, but yet now if the buyer pays me, I sent them an invoice. I even adjusted the shipping in the invoice based on what the label is going to cost me. That pair of shoes is going to go right to the buyer, bypass the authentication process. And that's, according to the rep, she said that's going to upset a lot of people. If they're expecting that eBay tag on the shoes saying these are real and they don't get it, that might cause you a problem. She was even telling me to cancel. I said, look, they have one more day to pay. And if they don't, I'll just go in and cancel it. But I'm not going to go and cancel it per address, which really isn't the reason. So for me, that's just my update to you guys. Check it out. Look into it a little further if you're selling shoes on eBay, because this is probably going to affect you if you sell certain brands and / models of that shoe. Okay, so off my soapbox here. Want to get to you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday, and hopefully you guys had a good weekend in sales. We have Prosser says eBay uses Sneakers Con to authenticate. The trouble with that is they don't have enough qualified staff to authenticate properly. They just have a set of guidelines to follow. That's why so many sellers get failed when they're in fact authentic. I watched the little blurb video that they have, if you want to look into the authentication process more. A lot of these people are saying, yeah, I live sneakers. I love sneakers. You see them looking at the stitching. You even see them smelling the shoe. And it's like, what about if it's a used shoe? I don't know if I want to smell the shoe, but they're, I guess that's what they're trained to do. And
Can you imagine working somewhere where you had to smell shoes for a living? Like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see. We have Callie Debs. Hello all. Thanks for hanging out with us. 97 Deep Valley Road says, hello, I have 335 listings so far. 300 have missing recommendations on the items. Do I put NA in those that don't apply? You don't have to. I mean, if you're, like me, I had to get beyond. I mean, for many, many months and couple years, I would be like, eBay has it in the summary. They want me to fix these item specifics. And now I think I'm at 100. I'm at 140 of my listings.
Yeah, it's a really bad habit because for a long time, years, we were putting NA in the spots where we didn't have the information just to be able to list the item. And now, like he tells me all the time, you don't have to spend so much time. You don't have to spend so much time on those. And I don't, I'm pretty thorough. So it bothers me that there's nothing in those boxes. But at the end of the day, we just want to get them listed.
And so the most important thing is to get your item up. Okay, get it up. If all these item specifics are preventing you from even wanting to list your item, messing with it, then just get them up. Forget about the item specifics. But for me, I think a lot of us overlook the importance of item specifics. If you're leaving, either putting NA or you're leaving item specifics blank, remember, some people, not all, but some people are using best match search to find your item, and they're using the filter to sort the different characteristics they're looking for in the item you're selling. And if you're leaving it blank, guess what? When they click on that box and, you know, maybe they're looking for something specific and you don't have anything filled out, you won't appear in their filtered search.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, am I, as a buyer, am I putting in the keywords and filling out the ones that, you know, if somebody's looking for something on eBay, am I putting in the, you know, of course, the size, the color, the maybe the inseam or whatever it might be. But key details, of course, if it's a character or what's the other one where?
Oh, like blue. Everyone likes to put blue.
Yeah. Yeah. That it's like, I mean, I'm listing shoes. It's not a character. There's no character unless it's, you know,
just leave it blank. Leave it blank.
Yeah, exactly. I just leave it blank. I did that on the listings that I did this morning.
But if you're selling similar, this is another thing with item specifics. If you're selling similar, piggybacking off of a previously sold listing, check the additional specifics, because I've come across many times where some Yahoo is putting free shipping, 100% guarantee, free tax. What the heck is that? They're not, no tax.
I haven't come across that.
I've come across that many times, and it's like, how do you know no tax? How can you speak for no tax? If someone from a state that has sales tax buys your item and you put no tax, they're going to be reaching out. They're going to be pretty mad at you. Yeah. So make sure you clear off of that garbage. That's just garbage. Yeah. Don't take time in the additional comments to type in any random stuff. Yeah. Save that for if you want to put it in your item description. You know, if you feel it's really necessary as a selling point, put that there, but don't put it in your item specifics. It's just noise.
Oh, Tyler said he made his first sale today.
We got Pingy in the house. Hi, John and Jenna.
Hi, Pingy.
Shinville General.
Go back to Tyler.
Where?
He said he made his first
Tyler's
sale
training
today.
Post says, I made my first sale today. Awesome. Awesome. There you go. It's the first one. Once you get past that.
Once you get past the first one, then it's woo.
Let's see. Ed says, leave them empty. Yes, I agree. We have Kevin Hawthorne from Lakeland, Florida. Thanks, Kevin, for hanging out with us today. Nina DeBrev mom is in the house.
I guess it's a thing.
Ed says, I need some new over the blue ear tooth headphones. If you ever get some, John, would rather support you. If I get some, I'll let you know. But
over the ears one?
I know that, well, I think Archie just got some at the yard sale. We went to the yard sale, Archie and I, and he got a deal on some bows. So maybe you might want to hit Biscuit Butt up. He might have him give you a good deal on him or something.
Hi, Ed.
He says hi. And then Daddy Game says, hiya from UK. Well, thanks for watching us. It's probably late at night right there in UK. Annie's in Ontario, Canada. Gail N says, hi, everyone. And I don't know what. So it's a she. What does that mean?
Wait, you have to go back.
I don't know. Maybe I missed the previous remark. Sawtooth Outpost says, woohoo, another live to keep me entertained while getting those listings out. Thanks for the Prime Lister link. I used my trial and got a subscription, moving lots of inventory. Awesome.
I like that thing. It makes the job so much easier.
She does the Posh stuff. So she's getting the stuff over on Posh. Just remember, if you're cross-posting, and this is something I just learned recently, if you're going to cross-post your listings onto Mercari, make sure you're using the square photo feature when you're doing your listings, I would just let it default to 4x3 and do all my eBay photos. And then when it moved over to Mercari, I'm wondering like, why is everything blown up? And so for me, I have to go back, and I'm selling stuff with bad photos on Mercari. I don't understand, but people are buying my stuff. And you got to keep giving Mercari a little bit of attention and love, because if you don't go on and make offers, use the Prime Lister tool to make offers. Like I do 10%, and that works, but get new listings up as often as you can.
Yeah, I have on the Posh one, I set it up so that it, like, when people are liking and following you, that mine does it right back to them automatically. Like I haven't touched Posh all day and it's doing it automatically.
Yeah, it has all these automated features in that Prime Lister.
Because you got to play the game just like you got to play the game with eBay.
Yeah. And so the link's down below if you guys want to check out the 14-day trial. You don't have to give a credit card up front. So even if you just intend on, let me get some stuff over without ever getting Prime Lister, I mean, you can do that too, I suppose. And no one's the wiser. So get your stuff in front of more eyes. That's always been my thing. Michael Biddle is in the house. Slow weekend in sales, but I love doing this reseller thing. Yeah, no boss to have to answer to. You don't have to worry about commuting.
Unless you got this guy.
I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. Let's see. Gail's in the house. We have Bling Bling Factor, Australia. I think that's Carolyn. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Art's in the house. Let's see. And then Biscuit Bus says, don't worry, John ignores my phone calls too. Claims he's on the phone with eBay reps.
Also, I'm going to add on to that little soapbox. What people need to understand too is that John works literally from the moment his feet hit the ground until at night when he actually shuts his phone off. And that is sometimes anywhere from 12 to 16 hours. And also, I need to come into that play. There needs to be, we have to make dinner. Well, he makes dinner, but we need to spend time together. So we are right now, but that's like tonight. I'm going to go bowling with him. I'm not bowling, but I'm going to go get out of the house because I don't get to get out of the house very often. And so people need to understand that we do have life. We have family. We are running a business, and John is, doing this YouTube thing, and it's great. And we love you guys more than you'll ever know. You guys are the greatest flipping fam ever. But you have to take into consideration if we don't get to you right away, or he doesn't get to you right away, there's other things in life that are more important than YouTube comments sometimes.
I got to just say this, though. I was thinking the other day, how grateful I am to you guys in the sense that I may have failed a long time ago in this business if I didn't have you guys. And just the thought of, being accountable, not only to myself, Jenna, it's to you guys, because look, there's a lot of people out there that send me messages. Hey, enjoy the content, enjoy the information. Thanks for, doing this. And just the idea of how many people that, appreciate the content. You have your trolls out there. That's fine. I've learned to get over that a long time ago. But, it's just not only those kind of comments that keep me going, but it's the fact that I feel like I'm accountable to you guys, and I've got to keep pushing forward. There's days I don't want to do this. There's days that I just want to just relax. Right.
But he doesn't. I had to literally earlier tell him to go lay down because he has a migraine. And, he's very committed to YouTube, eBay, you name it, anything that he puts his heart and soul into, he goes all in. he's not a half-assed Johnny like some of these other creators, you know.
Well, I took it upon myself. I'm really, I went, I got a GoPro, wanting to add just a little bit more. I know it's not necessary. A lot of you guys say, look, just keep doing the thing you're doing. But for me, it's wanting to add production value. I know sometimes if you're just looking at this face and, you know, for 15, 20 minutes on a video, it gets really dry. And I want to make the experience at least entertaining somewhat, not to where it's changing who I am, but just make the content a little bit more
fun,
interesting
and
to watch.
interesting.
Right. So hopefully we'll do that. I'm learning. I'm constantly, just when I have downtime, I'm trying to learn different techniques and things like that. So to make the channel at least better, you know, try to improve the channel every day. As we get more people, of course, I just feel like I need to do that. So bear with me. You know, I'm doing the best that I can, and with your input and your, you know, your patience and your help in getting me there. But just know you guys mean a lot to me. I get up, like she says, I'll work from the time, it seems like I work from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, take a couple breaks in between, but I don't have a boss, and it's a different feeling. When you're running your own gig, it's like, wow, I just got up. It's time to quit. You know, I'm looking for more time in the day. I want to keep going. If I could, I would.
I have to pry him into watch TV or take, you know, 15, 20 minutes to just breathe. You know, I made him breakfast this morning because he was on the phone with eBay for like what, an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And normally he gets up and he's straight in there eating breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
This man doesn't miss a meal. However, this morning he couldn't do that. And so me and our son, we, you know, bacon and pancakes, no big deal. But still, I knew that he was putting in more time in his office in the morning. So I made him breakfast.
Well, thank you, honey.
Oh,
that's why you did it. I just thought you guys were hungry.
no.
Okay. So that just,
you know, I don't eat breakfast. So
gives you a little insight of our day to day, but there's, you got to be dedicated. Look, this is not, if you either serious about your business or you're not, if you think that you quit your job, or I don't work for this guy anymore or this company anymore, and it's now a different mentality, then you just need to do something different. You got to focus on treating your business like the business you just left. And instead of having a boss that's down your neck, you need to be your own boss and be accountable to yourself. And the only reward at the end of the day is the money that you make. Okay, you could make as many listings as you want. It's not going to do you a bit of good if you're just doing the same nonsense like we talked about at the beginning of the video and you're not making sales. Adapt, change the things that you do to make the sales. Get out of your comfort zone. And that's me being your old boss, right? So I'm not going to speak any more to that. So let's see. Who else do we have? We have Chucky saying an item could just come out and buyers are lowballing. Yeah, like I had an item that I listed a pair of really nice Rockport speakers. I mean, they looked like brand new. I picked them up at a yard sale for $10. She's like, look, I don't care. Just buy them. They're like new. And I put them up. The market's showing that they've sold for like $70 ish. And I think I'm at like $59.99 plus shipping, whatever. I get an offer for $10. It's like, you know what? I whatever. And people do it. Why do people do it? People do it because they've done it before. They've made stupid offers, and some seller who's desperate decided to just sell it to them for that price. And they figure they're going to keep doing it. It is what it is. Biff Boffo says people have become so needy with their free YouTube advice. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I try to give out information as I get it. Hopefully it's not redundant information or information that's not helpful. So hopefully that's regarding another channel. Let's see. Biscuit Butt says John treating viewers like his post woman treats him. No. So in fact, okay. Well, it depends on how my carrier is treating me, because now she hasn't come today.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I gotta tell you,
Still have a little time.
she came all last week. Of course, Friday. Now I got 2 bags outside, 2 big, I call them Santa bags, but they're big bags. And she's probably going to turn the corner to my door and see them. And she's going to walk the hell away. And I anticipate having to take these packages in. That's for sure. Process is the market's getting flooded with hot products. So more competition. Yeah. People are going to adapt. And if they're going to adapt and you're not, guess what's going to happen? They're going to make the sales and you're not. Tommy says, John, put a restraining order on me. Don't feel bad, Karen. Biff Boffo, if you're trying to sell a vintage gold necklace, you should be selling it for melt price.
Well, also,
who knows if it's even real, though? I mean,
exactly. That's what I was just going to say. I mean, of course, he brought this to my attention last night, and the email thing, and I said, well, how much is she selling it for? Is it even real? Like, didn't you say it was $10?
Some of the items were like $10 to $20, $30
$10
in the store.
So,
I mean, I mean, it's probably just costume jewelry at that point, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's what people are going to see it for. Nobody is going to say, wow, I can get an authentic gold, whatever, for $15, $20. They're probably going to see it for what it is. So I'm not trying to dog anyone. There's nothing wrong with selling jewelry and stuff like that. I mean, there is a market for it, but when you get items that you're up against 100,000 listings, and then you're wondering why I'm only getting a couple sales here and there, that's probably why. But you got to learn eBay. You got to learn what you're looking at, because so many sellers fall into the trap of they're buying stuff just blindly and have no idea what they're up against. And then they go and list it. They think they have a perfect listing, and then they're like, why haven't I sold it yet? Because you're up against a lot of people who are doing the same thing that you're doing. Gail says, been a good day today. Got my first Vero today. Got an item back that could not be derived because of or delivered because of no forwarding address.
Well, I like your positivity. You had a good day, but you got a Vero and you got a return. That is a good day.
Think of it like this. You're healthy. Yeah. All the important things are in place.
If that's the least of your worries, you got this.
Chucky says, good luck finding in-demand rare items for cheap. Well, I mean, okay. The unicorn item I bought a couple weeks ago, $70 into 1,800. I'll probably never see it again. I mean, I'm just, my expectations are low. But I mean, I spent about $200 yesterday, a little over $200 at the yard sales, and I made most of it back, overnight. And I got about half of it listed, and the other half's going to get listed this week. It's not about finding rare items. It's finding items that people want and
need.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be the hottest thing, but it just has to be, more of like a need. Like I got this, it's called a battery maintainer. So if you have like a 12 volt battery, you hook it up to that thing and it'll like maintain the levels so you can put it in your boat or your, whatever you're using it for. And people need that. Look, my battery's bad. I need to get the juice up in the battery, whatever, right? So that's not a want thing. I need my boat to work. I need my propeller or whatever it is that they're trying to power up. And that's a need. So I fulfilled a need. I picked it up for $5, sold it for 20 something bucks overnight. It's that kind of an item that you want to look for.
And sometimes those need items are not things that we think are need items, like a motor.
But I've been doing the same thing for 30 years. I haven't changed a thing. Why are my sales bad?
Because the times have changed.
And maybe we've had better economies. I mean, I know you're just being kind of facetious about it. All joking aside, though, there's people who just want to be comfortable. And those people aren't serious. And my goal is to at least get some of those people to see that if you don't change your ways, nothing's going to change.
John makes me get uncomfortable every day.
We'll leave it at that. Noah Design says, I love when people get upset for free advice. It always gives me a giggle. Guys, if you don't get a reply back and you haven't spent any money to acquire that advice info, don't get butthurt. Yeah, it's just free advice. I mean, my advice comes with a money back guarantee. I'll give you a 30-day money back guarantee if you don't like my advice. I promise that. Chucky says, entitled buyers and some are resellers. I have an in-demand item, brand new, lowest price, and buyers still lowball. Yeah, they'll lowball. And to me, that's your opportunity to come back and just say, hey, look, this is what I'm into it for, and this is my lowest price. So, put it out there. Now, some people come back to the same stupid offer, decline. But maybe you got someone that's, look, I was just trying to get a deal on it. Okay, maybe, I like to tell them, let's meet halfway. If you can do it, let's meet halfway. So let's say you're into the item for $5 and you have it. It's up. The market says it should be around 50. They come at you for 20. Well, you know what? You can make a sale on that item and make a profit, but that's really low. You could say, look, you want 20. These are selling for 50. Let's meet at 35. And, if you just listed it, maybe you're not doing that. Maybe if you've sat on the item for a while, it's time to just let it go. And so you have to use your good judgment. Don't just write someone off. Give that buyer a chance to come back to earth and understand that, they can't get everything for free. Either they're serious or it'll show in their next response if they're not. Ricardo says, too many sellers shopping, sourcing at the same place, i.e. Walmart. Yeah, you'll see a lot of videos where people will say, go use your Walmart app, find this clearance item, and you'll be able to check out and buy the item for 3 cents. There's too many people that know that game too well. It's not a good sourcing method, and you're just going to be wasting your time. Certain people like, Bearded Picker, they got that down to a science where they can send it into FBA, Amazon, and they're making their living that way. But the more and more people find out about that, the harder it is for you and I to do something like that. My boring reseller life. Hey, how you doing? My blood-stained beanie babies, don't ask questions, are not selling, even at 50% off and promoting them at 90%. I know the problem is not with me. Jeez. And I gotta give you kudos. You know what? You kind of inspired me a little bit, and I watched your videos. The one after you got the car wash, I like the genuine side of you there. But that makes me know that it's possible. It's possible. But, you don't just get all those items up on your store and the sales that you make every day just because you wake up and want it. You got to put the work in. And so kudos to you. Thanks for watching the lives and the channel. But I do admire what you're doing. Chucky says, if I don't get what I want, it'll keep it for a few years. You can no longer get it for new. Yeah. No one designs it, but Tommy, I had a great sale on a wooden toilet tissue 75 years ago. It's not selling now. But that's almost vintage, isn't it?
It's vintage.
Yeah. You got to add the word vintage. And in a few more years, it'll be antique.
Yeah.
So you're not adding the proper words to your title, I think, on that. Prosper says, people always like to blame eBay for everything instead of looking closer to home. I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, look.
All the time.
I was guilty of that. I did that before, but I had reason. I wasn't getting any views on my items on anything. This is like 2 years ago, back in September. It's well documented, and they were able to fix the problem. But so many sellers, will feel like, oh, they hate me. I feel like eBay hates me. I even had to ask.
He asks the rep.
Do I have any flags on my account?
Do I have any flags on my account?
I just want to know.
Does eBay hate me?
No, but I just wanted to know because you know what? I make a lot of videos that are critical of eBay, and someone was being very forward with me. She even told me how to work the system a little bit. She offered that information, so I was glad to get that. But it's not going to get me any more sales, but it's going to help me navigate eBay a little bit better, I think, next time. So I was like, okay, she's being forthcoming with information. Why don't I just find out if maybe there's some kind of a flag on my account? I don't know if that's even a thing, but still.
She said no, as if it is. So
is what?
It is a thing.
Yeah, but she said no. I'd be able to see if there was a problem, and your account's fine. So I'm good with that answer. Chucky says, if I don't get what I want for it, I'll keep it for a few years when you can no longer get it for new. Okay. But for me, it's like, if I'm into that item for $2 and I want 25 and this person's coming at me at like 15, 10, even 10. And it's just taking up space on my shelf. I'm going to move it. Let's move it. Get it out of here and invest that money into a better product. Noah Design. Oh, I already saw that one. Sorry.
Kelly
Fubu
from
is.
Prior Lake.
We got a bolo alert. Fubu. Tommy said Fubu.
Huh?
Tommy said that.
My Fubu.
Yeah. Look for Fubu. It's really hot right now.
I don't know.
He's joking. My Fubu isn't selling now. It was hot 92. That's a brand.
Oh.
She just asked, what is a Fubu, by the way? Isn't that effed up beyond? No, that's
understanding.
Okay. People always like to blame eBay. We already saw that. Kelly from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Eddie Estrada. I noticed after applying promoted listings to my entire stock, only a few of my sales are marked sold via promoted listings. So even though everything is promoted, organic sales still occur. Yes. And there's many cases. I actually took a screenshot. I have these, oh geez. I have these sunglasses. They're Oliver Peoples sunglasses, and they're like $200 sunglasses. They're, they were in one of my Amazon customer return liquidation lots, and I think I had that thing for like I have it like for $129, whatever. And I guess it's the only one of its kind of that model that's up. So I had it promoted for some stupid reason. I'm thinking maybe because I'm up against all the sunglasses, not just that particular model is why I even promoted it. But when I do a search, I take my title and just do a search. It shows two listings, the promoted on top and then the organic listing, the exact listing underneath it. So you're going to get, and I noticed that my sales, I get about 60% of my sales have the promoted listing fee attached to it. The other 40%, even though I have those promoted, it's not charging me that fee. That means that sold organically, and I'm good with that. I think the misconception, and I think a lot of people think this way, is that if I promote an extra 5%, 10%, that every time I make a sale, I'm going to have to add that to the 13% I'm already paying. And that's just not the truth. You're going to get some sales where you're benefiting from the promoted listing in some regard, but they're clicking on the organic listing. They've never clicked on your promoted listing before. They make the sale, and you don't have to pay the fee. Ed says, my winter boots and shoes are selling way more now, especially kids' boots. Yes. And even these stupid shoes, which I don't have behind me, but they're in the garage. I think I've sold.
There's no pink shoes behind us.
Yeah, but those stupid girls' shoes, size 2, that you guys are sick of hearing about, I'm selling about 3 or 4 or 5 a week. So, not bad at all for that, really. Let's see what we got here. Rural Squirrel says, I started using the coupons for the first time and had a big boost in volume. Yeah, because people see that and it sticks out.
People like coupons, even if it's 5%.
And people don't do math. So they see 10% and they're like, oh, that could be a lot of money. And they apply the discount and they think they're making a good deal for themselves.
Oh my gosh, I love.
Ping G says, I found a bag of Disney Christmas stockings that I must have purchased 10 years ago. Listed all of them this past week. No comps, no promoted listings. And then listed them at original price, and they all sold this weekend. Right.
Yeah.
And you don't need to promote everything.
It's that time of year.
John needs a hug. I need a hug.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, there's your hug.
Okay. Susan Miller says, Christian Louis Vuitton. Vuitton is Louis. No, I thought that too. I had an argument with Biscuit Butt about that.
I
thought they were Louis Vuitton. And it's saying Louis Vuitton, and I was wrong all these years. No, they're two different brands. Christian Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton. I don't know exactly the pronunciation, but yeah, Louis Vuitton. He's a French designer, and you can look it up. Look up that name and look up Louis Vuitton after you're done. You'll see they're two different things, two different companies. So that's definitely a bolo. If you get lucky enough to see someone selling some Louis Vuittons, grab them if you can. Let's see. Ed says, I haven't been switched to that yet. I've sent 2 authentications. It's still being sent USPS for me. Did you do that over the weekend? Because we're talking, she said the 8th is when everyone was switched over. So if you had a listing that was put into place before the 8th and you sold it this weekend, it's going to tell you to do the shipping by USPS or UPS. You get to select the shipping, and that buyer is paying you for the shipping. But anything that's been listed beyond the 8th, after the 8th, is going to have it to where they pay eBay the $14.95, and eBay gives you one option, and that's FedEx. You guys know I hate that because I don't like FedEx. But I'm going to play eBay's game. I'm just going to conform. I don't have enough listings that are
It's one listing.
I have like 3 pairs of LeBrons. So if that's just what it is, that's what it is.
See,
my board
we conform.
Yeah. I'm going to offer Polaroids of me in lingerie for a big boost in sales.
Oh God.
You know what? There is somebody. We used to, you guys, okay. I told you I would never talk about patches again, but here I am. When I was doing research on those stupid patches, and I call them stupid patches because you guys are sick of me talking about it.
Me too.
There's a seller out there right now who actually has like these patches, like replica patches, like life-size, like signs, and they're posing like almost nude on eBay, like in like their skimpy bikinis and stuff, with these like as their gallery photo. And on all of her listings, I showed it to Archie, and Archie got quite excited. But at the same time,
Archie,
at the same time,
so
I'm like, wow. I'm like, you can't. Your item is not on its own good enough to sell without you posing in a bikini or some lingerie. I thought it was
desperation.
Yeah, I'm surprised eBay hasn't had a problem with that.
Yeah.
But you know, if you,
I'm surprised nobody's reported it.
I guess you could look up military patches and see for yourself, but it's up there. I can't believe it.
One way to sell, I guess.
Let's see. LSGS Rob, what's up, Johnny? How you doing? Doing great. Hopefully you are as well. Edward McHugh says, does eBay include a tax collected in the final value fee? Yes. So if they charge like whatever it is, like 8% for a state sales tax, and instead of $100, it's like a 108.75 after tax, you're being charged the final value fee off of that 108.75. Now, a lot of people get up in arms, say that's BS, shouldn't happen. But the alternative would have been, we are going to have to keep track of all the states that collect sales tax and submit on a quarterly basis the money we've collected for the sales tax. eBay wouldn't have collected it for us, and we would have had to submit all of the money we collected to each of the states and had an account. It would have been a nightmare. You would have had to hire someone to take care of that for you. I'm getting so far behind, and that's just the way it is with live. I like to talk to you guys about stuff you ask about. Tommy says, I listed shoes today going to authentication, no FedEx, standard $12.99 shipping. And really, you listed them today. Well, the rep told me that she actually was reading from a internal document she received. She said that as of 11/8, everyone has switched over to this program. So it shouldn't be the case. Savage Pickers, sorry I'm late. Helping Johnny, a Sunny boy, study for his accounting exam. Sales have been decent for me the last few days. Awesome. Christina says FedEx rates are dramatically down. Yeah, there's a little blurb too that FedEx rates are down. But I mean, to me, that tells me that FedEx is doing that because their business is probably down. UPS to me is a better organization. I have more UPS stores I can drop off. I don't even know where I would drop off this FedEx package in my area here. I'm probably going to have to go like 3 miles down to where we used to drop them off.
He says 3 miles like it's so far.
Yeah, I don't want to drive 3 miles. Ashley Sims says, hi guys, had a weird thing happen on eBay today. Had notifications coming in for other people's accounts. Was nuts. eBay says it's a glitch, kind of concerning. Wow. Interesting. Don't know what to say. Maybe have fun with it.
No.
Respond.
I mean, but can you respond? Have you clicked on them and can you respond?
Let's see. LSGS Rob says, don't worry about the recommended specifics. Don't fill them out. Okay, and I agree with that. If it flips, it ships 101. Hello, friends. I hope your sales are like mine. I guess that's bad, huh? Hopefully they're not like that, and it's just going to improve. But if your sales are bad right now, the 14th of November, when are they going to improve? I mean, I hope you're not waiting for Black Friday. In all seriousness, start making the changes you need to make to your listings. Yeah. Let's see. Jenna, I told John ages ago, NA is bad for listings. I know, but you know me and I've got 140 listings that eBay is just wanting me to do something with, and I'm just going to leave it alone. And I've been doing that for a long time.
I just leave it blank now. Yeah,
this is not worth the time. Kid Wilson said, if it's not listed, it can't sell. You're right. If it's this stuff behind me is not selling, and there's got to be a problem. It must be eBay's fault.
eBay did it.
Yeah,
it's all eBay's fault.
There's got to be a reason why those aren't selling. Okay, let's see. Kimberly Ann says, funny, I am filling in item specifics right now. Yeah, save your time. Here's the thing. Make your listings process as easy, as quick as possible. You're going to find that you're going to get more value in your store. You're going to get more items listed. And, it's better to have incomplete item specifics than to have it not listed at all. Susan Miller says, fill in the most item specific you can, improve your views. There's a place and check off to do not ask me this again, and that will turn off the recommendations. Yes. Biscuit Butt says, I've eliminated a lot of time by just taking photos using the camera and eBay instead of uploading photos. Yeah, that's another way. Have that white background. So I have a white backdrop, but take your photos if you want on the eBay app. Have good lighting so that the white backdrop shows really as white as possible. You could save yourself a lot of time. It's already in the square format. And I'll catch myself doing that every so often, bypassing the background removal process sometimes. Just get your listings up. Don't worry about item specifics after it's up. Tyler's Trading Post says, I made my first sale today and it felt good to make that sale. But I just got to keep doing the good work that I've been getting info from your live stream. So I'm thankful for all you guys' help. You're welcome. Check out my videos too. I think I've got a lot of good content in there. No One Designs says, my camera and my Mac is connected, so photos go straight to the camera to Mac, no waiting. Susan says, if you're using sell similar, be careful. Many of those sellers don't have the correct item specifics.
Right.
Yeah, and just gotta glance at it, But to me, if an item is already sold, so let's say I find an item, let's say it's sold with a good title. Well, to me, I like the title. I don't have to mess with the title. I can just sell one like this, go and make sure the item specifics look good. And if they look good, I'm good to go. It speeds up the process, and it's a proven listing. It's already sold. Ashley Hugh says, hello, longtime viewer, first time actually being here for the live. Well, thanks, Ashley, for hanging out.
Ashley.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. We do this at least twice a week. Friday, we're not going to be doing it. I'll talk to you guys about that at the end of the show. But we try to do this twice a week. Joyce McGraw says, Joyce from Ohio. Thanks for hanging out with us, Joyce.
Hi,
Joyce. Let's see. Uh-oh. You know what that could be?
It's the nail lady.
Now, if we go out, and you guys won't know this, and I may have to tell you guys, if we go out and I still have that stuff out there, she did a U-turn. But I think she's probably just dragging these bags back to her.
She could be.
Should go check. Okay, go check. We'll find out now.
You guys are going to see that I have my leopard pajama pants.
Uh-oh. Okay, so Dan Frisco says, also consider store-wide sales right now. I set 500 of my 2,200 items on a before Black Friday sale, and brought in just over 1,500 thus far, Friday through today. That's awesome. And that's what you got to do. You got to think of yourself as a store. What is Best Buy doing? What is Walmart doing? They're already putting their Black Friday sales up. And, if you think that, people are looking for deals only on Black Friday, you're mistaken. They're looking for deals. Trevor York, do you love us more than bowling? That's a tough one. You know what? I think so, because if you guys weren't here to support me, if you guys are watching my videos, I wouldn't have the drive. I think, I would have the drive, but I think that it wouldn't be as fun. And honestly, I almost gave up bowling this last year. I was having some arm problems, and I'm not having that issue right now. So I wasn't against walking away. I guess if you get so old after a while, you just got to realize you're just old. And hopefully I have a few more years of bowling, but I have a lot of listing left to go. What is it gone? No. Okay. Maybe they just like to bark at stuff.
They may have heard people at the park behind us. We have a park behind us.
Tommy says, did you guys get at least a fake Louis with the super chat money? Not yet. We're still looking. But if you have one, I'll go and buy it from you. But again, I thank you guys for that last week. I wasn't expecting any of that.
We're actually going to go and eat dinner tonight together.
Yeah, McDonald's or something. I don't know if we have time to sit down, but we'll see. It depends on what time we get done with this. We'll probably do this for another half an hour.
See what I'm telling you? There's always something.
Yeah, of course. Ed says, well, the processor says, of course, you guys have a life outside of YouTube and eBay, but it's not much right now. But it's Q4, put in a little extra effort.
We take on this ourselves, and believe me, I'm not bitching about him working so much. However, I want him to take care of himself. And so, if he doesn't take breaks and calls it quits at night, then he's not going to be there in the future to do that.
Yeah, I'll do better. So, and leave your comments to that down below if you guys want. Ed says, I think everything else is more important than YouTube comments. I never expect a speedy response. And then T-Town Trekker says, hey, J&J, best flipping fam duo on YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
LSGS Rob, why work so long when you don't have to? That's way too long for what you're doing. It should take you under 5 to 6 hours to get everything done. Spending that much time sounds very non-productive. It's not that it's non-productive. It's I do my eBay stuff. I get my listings done.
Everything. It's eBay, YouTube, making videos, product inventory. The scope is very large.
Research, trying to figure out how to make what I'm doing.
Shipping. That is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're selling a lot of stuff, guess what? You're selling a lot of stuff. You're going to ship a lot of stuff. You're shaking my computer.
I'm sorry. If you're only a two-man crew, we can only work so fast doing certain things. I tackled the shipping last night, and thank God I did, because this morning I would have cried.
I get my work done 4 hours per day and work under 30 hours per week after you factor sourcing, shipping, doing 20 listings per day in clothing. Yeah. And when you list everything, sometimes it takes a while to get the item. So I have an item. I don't know really how well it works. So I got to take it out of the box if there is one. I got to, maybe plug it in, make sure it functions right. Maybe it's not clean. So I got to go and clean this stupid thing. And then I got to put it back, and I got to get my photos and do all that stuff. Every item is a little different when it comes to listing. So, and I'm not making excuses for myself. I kicked some butt yesterday and got about 20, 25 items listed, but it's not because I put in any more effort or less effort. It's because of the type of item I was listing. It was just an easier
You also get sidetracked by certain people that are within this chat.
Are you throwing Archie under the bus? But here's the thing. It's not just Archie. I have a lot of friends that
he has a lot of friends.
I have a friend that's basically, he works from home. So he does his own thing at home. And when he's, wanting to talk to somebody, they'll call me. Yeah. And then I have another friend who's recently retired, and, football season, the guy's calling me, and it is a distraction.
He said last night, John came in when I was doing shipping, and he goes, man, I don't think I'm ever going to retire. I said, are you crazy? And he goes, no, they just seem bored.
Yeah. It's like they're bored as hell. I mean, it's like
I'd rather be bored.
So it's like, man, I just got off the phone with you. Why are you calling me back? And
we love you.
Yeah. But no, it's not just Archie. I have a few friends that just have nothing to do. They want to talk, and I'll try to work through that. Right. So I have the speakerphone on, and I'm trying to work, and it is a distraction. I got to admit. Let's see. Biscuit Butt says, I will say that if I call John at 10 p.m. and his garage listing, I can verify the dude is always working. Yeah, always working, you know, but I'm working. I got the YouTube playing on my TV, or maybe I'll have the music. Just depends on what I'm into, but I'm always working. In fact, my retired friend thinks I'm just full of whatever because I'm like, dude, I'm just working. Like, you're always working. Well, it's true. I'm always working.
He's always working. Like, if I were to video him all day, he's all over.
Mhm.
This man doesn't know how to sit down and do nothing.
Well, I cook. I'll take a break to cook for you.
But even then,
the YouTube thing.
The kitchen.
So Trevor says the YouTube thing works for you because we can tell you're authentic. We believe what you say. Show us, and you don't spend 5 minutes telling us to smash the like button. Thank you. Smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
No, actually, don't smash the like button. Just hit it once.
Just one time.
Okay, but I didn't spend 5 minutes. I didn't spend 5 minutes. LSGS Rob says there's committed and there's wasting time. Not saying you're wasting time. You're clearly not, but you could be way more efficient, in my opinion. Do you have a schedule for yourself? No, I don't have a schedule for myself.
No, I agree with him. I agree with Rob. There's no organization when it comes to I'm gonna ship from 8 to 10, and then I'm gonna list from 10:30 to.
But I'm not under the mindset.
He doesn't know how he sees a squirrel and it's off in another direction.
Yeah, I will. I'll get distracted. And that's just something I've always had to deal with. But for me, it's if I had to follow a set schedule, then it's not as fun. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to make this a fun gig. Reselling doesn't have to be a grind, even though it is. There's a reason why I wake up in the morning and I'll get up, have a little breakfast. Usually my breakfast is a bagel, cream cheese, and orange juice. That's my thing. And then I'll get to work. There's a reason why I go from that. And then it's like, wow, it's time to stop. It's like late at night now. I need to just stop because I enjoy what I do. If I was regimented like that to where it's like, oh crap, I'm 5 minutes late, I got to get onto this next task.
He doesn't work that way.
I don't work that way.
We had to work that way when we worked in the corporate world. So now he's gotten so far away from that it just doesn't.
If I can eliminate the things like the phone calls, oh my God, the phone calls. If I can, and I'm a nice guy, I know I've got friends, maybe they're reaching out to me because they need something. I've always wanted to be the friend that helps the friend in need. So maybe this time they need something. I enjoy my friends. I like talking to my friends. So you get kind of caught up. I'll have a conversation with Archie about, here's what's going on with eBay, and here's what I found out, and here's what I'm doing. And look, I enjoy that. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy talking about it. And if I eliminate a lot of that, I'd be better.
Let me give Biscuit Butt a little up, positivity. He actually can work when Archie's on the phone. He stays working. It's when the others call is when he's sidetracked into football or whatever.
Yeah, I can help a friend run a fantasy football league that we've had for 20 something years through our old job. And, it's like, hey, can you help me with this? Help me with that. So it's like, all right, whatever, drop this and go in here and do that. Yeah. If I eliminated a lot of that, it would be a lot more. Okay. I'm working 9 to 5, right? I'm done at 5. And, but for me though, it's like, I see all that stuff I need to list, and it's like, okay, I could quit at 5 or I can keep going. And right now, I just want to keep going. I enjoy doing it. I look forward to it. Sweetdeal.vip says running auctions along with your normal listings seems to help. I know you said that before. I think that there's an element to eBay that still, I don't know how much of a boost you're going to get, but I think there's something to it.
We don't know the theory behind it, but like every once in a while he'll say, oh, well, we haven't made a sale, or we've only made 2 or whatever. And I'll be like, are you running any auctions? And I don't know the basis behind it. I don't know why it does what it does, but when we have auctions running, our sales climb. And I can't explain it to save my life, but
I always have something. I always look for something to put up on auction that I don't really care about, just trying to get my money back, or maybe it'll sell for more than that. But I always try to get some auctions up. Ed says, John and Jenna, what's your advice for part-timers like me who has a full-time job, a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old, and the sole provider for the household? Basically, advice for me. Well, get lots of aspirin or migraine medicine. No, number one advice, keep that full-time job.
Right now.
If anything, I got to tell you, if I had to work here at home and I had a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old running around at the time I'm trying to work doing this full-time, I think I would just go crazy. So the fact that you're working full-time, you get to be away from that for a little while. But when you come home, you have to deal with that. I get it. Keep your full-time job. And, but let me just do this. Let me be kind of real with you in hindsight. I worked for many years the 6 p.m. to 2:30 in the morning shift. Okay. For many years while my kids were growing up. I really wish I didn't do that now, because you miss so much time with them when they're growing up, and it's time you really don't get back. The time, when they get home from school, you're leaving for work, and you don't get the time to really spend with them as much as you'd like to. So, I know you have a full-time job and you got to do this eBay thing, but while they're still that age, take the time, maybe if it's just an hour, stop.
Even if you can take, a day, whatever your off day is, whether it's a weekend day or even a weekday, take them to the park. Make sure that when they grow up, they can't say like our kids, you weren't there, or you didn't spend enough time with us.
I don't think my kids think that at all. I mean, I feel that way in hindsight, but I don't think my son has probably the best work ethic I've ever seen. And yeah. I think I can tell you right now, he's seen how hard I worked. I mean, I got that from my dad, and, working hard and just busting your butt. You have this mindset of work hard, play hard, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll get out there and bowl tonight, and if I don't shoot 200, well, lately it hasn't been that way, but normally I'm irritated, right? But it's just my competitive nature, just trying to be the best that I can be at whatever I do. So yeah, just remember about that time.
Find a balance.
Yeah, find a balance,
because 2-year-olds and 8-year-olds are not. That they are very different stages of life, so it can be difficult, but maybe find a balance between all of it.
You do it right, those kids are going to be your biggest fans and supporters.
Yeah, you're showing them something that's most valuable that a lot of children don't see nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. Shinville says, how should I price items? Again, find an item. Let's say you're just evaluating to resell. Look on the eBay app, click on sold listings, see how many items that item is sold, how many times it's sold. Everything that shows up in green is sold in the last 90 days. And then click off of that filter, so you just see what's currently up for sale and see how many items you're up against, just to get an idea, and before you buy the item. And then when you price it, kind of use a median. Like, don't use the highest sold price, but don't use the lowest either. Find a nice sweet spot right in the middle somewhere.
And you'll also see too that people will mark theirs. You'll see a variety. Let's say you see $49.99, $35.99, and so forth. Don't sell yourself short, because a lot, like what I would do is I would put it $1 underneath the person that was the highest. So $49.98 or $48.99. Think you got to find your happy medium, but don't sell yourself short.
Yeah. Okay. Thomas says, Ed, don't buy junk. Be the pickiest person on earth. Part-timers should have the leanest, meanest store around. If it's not $50 and high, sell through, leave it alone. That's good advice right there. Jeff says, I first heard from YouTube that eBay would be allowing up to 24 photos. Tried several times, but today it's letting me use over 12 photos. Yeah, I've been doing that for at least a week.
Yeah.
Maybe it's on the newest update on the app. Let's see if I can get through this a little bit faster here. Tommy says, the biggest mistake part-timers make, Ed, can't make more hours in a day, so only way to scale is average sale price. Ashley says, I have narcolepsy, so it's hard to work outside home eBay has let me walk away from that and be able to pay my bills. It's motivation, or I'd be working harder, longer, and for less money. I mean, you can make it work. You can make it work. There's people, but see, the thing is, it's the people that list $100 and say 100 items and sit back and say, okay, I've got it made, that think that somehow that's going to replace their full-time job, and it's not. You got to keep building on that business. Susan says people sell stolen jewelry super cheap to get lots of it.
Yeah.
Lots of real gold for sale at super prices. Well, I'm not going to be the guy that's looking for that. I mean, maybe, but you think they'd go to a pawn shop and pawn it for, the price of gold.
If you're doing something like that, you're not going to sell it. I mean, I guess they do sell it on eBay, but you're not going to ask $10 for it.
Kenji says insurance on packages is not worth it, right? I'd say if it's over, for me, it's over like $250, $300. It's
the value,
the value, right? The what it's sold for. I'm insuring it with a signature because I just want to make sure that if something happens, I'm not stuck. I might be into it for $50, but now I've got to refund that item that's broken or missing, right? So make sure you just insure anything. I say over $250 is what I do. Sandra says, I watch John and Jenna because it gives me encouragement and advice. I watch one other podcast for more on eBay and financial advice. Okay. Well, thank you,
Sandra.
Hoyer. Let's see. Yes. I'm just going to call her Sandra from now on. Biff Boffo says, complain about low ballers is like complaining about the sunrise. It's going to happen, just set auto decline and don't worry. If you rely on YouTube for business advice, just quit now. Reselling it's not it for everyone. I mean, it ain't easy. Somebody put a little comment, and they do it every once in a while. Flipping is easy. Flipping ain't easy. It's not hard, but it ain't easy. Tell me how easy it is when you have a $500 item that you get a charge back on. Tell me how easy that is. Yeah. It's not going to feel easy at all, especially when you aren't given the tools to be able to process that. Susan says, I set prices when doing best offers. My lowest price is 12 to 15% off. So it sure saves time. Ashley buys lots on eBay, find a lot of people who don't know what they're selling, then flip it. There's a lot of people who just source that way too.
That's true.
I don't know, Tommy. I think reselling is for everyone, but everyone is not for reselling. Wait, that is the same thing. It's eBay's fault. It's eBay's fault.
Everything's eBay's fault.
Mr. Buys a Lot says the best investment is ambition. If you want to work and you put in the work, you have much higher chance to succeed. Yes. If you get up in the morning and go, oh man, I got to list these items today. And you keep putting it off, you definitely need to not sell on eBay because it's not going to work. Let's see. 97 Deep Valley Road says I sent out a bunch of offers and took 5 to the USPS today. How does eBay decide what you can send offers on? I do not have a store. So if you get like offers to watchers, if you have people who keep looking at your items, you get a lot of sellers that'll like use your items to like reference, and you're sending them offers. But someone might just watch your item and you're sending an offer to watchers. And I think they can get so many offers per day as a buyer, that type of thing. Ed says, I don't think eBay hates you, John. Joe Crazy New York Driver is way more critical than you. And other than his high return rate, he's really successful. And eBay calls him, he's on the panel at eBay. I think he just knows people. I don't know. I feel, look, eBay is where I make the money. And I don't want to be critical of eBay, but at the same time, it's like someone's got to step up and speak out. And I don't even think he does enough speaking out, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that eBay does that, that they need to be called out for, and they need to be, and I get they're needing to be buyer friendly. I get it. You guys need to be buyer friendly. We all need to be buyer friendly, but as sellers, it should be a partnership. And I don't think eBay looks at us sellers as their partners. Let's see. And Sandra says, I agree. Let's get rid of stuff that's hanging around. And I'm going to fast forward through some comments. So I apologize. Got to get to the near where you guys are at now. Michael Norton says, I just posted this weekend and all week long, had an amazing sales weekend. Thank you for doing lives last week. Thank you for watching, Michael. I appreciate that. Tyler says, you're the first YouTuber I do watch, like I don't watch anyone else. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. There's lots of good content out there, but there's a lot that you need to be worried, not worried about, but just need to be wary of. No one design with the new listing format, doing sell similar on other people's listings can cause more work because the IP are hidden in the drop down menus and it has multiple check boxes. I'm very careful, but I can navigate it pretty good. Tyler says, I'm 19. I still feel too old for bowling. I love it. I mean, I'm a good bowler. So when you're good at something,
he finally admitted it.
I'm not a great bowler. I'm a good bowler. I have an 800. If that means anything to anyone, I have like 5 300s, and that's nothing to some of these guys that are out there bowling. But
he's very good.
Let's see what we got here. Tom is a 2-man crew as well. I work in wife shops. Well, that's cool, but that kind of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it?
I want that job.
And if it flips, it ships. I only eat meat. I eat meat, and I ate a donut today, and my body was, dude, like what the? So that's kind of like the Atkins diet, isn't it? Let's see. I spend 12 hours a day working. Have you seen the new morning show season? Watch it yesterday while working. Yeah, it's easy to get distracted. I mean, I've got all kinds of stuff that I'm watching. I'm watching stuff about the end of the world. I'm watching all kinds of crap. And it's like, wow, really? Is that what they're doing?
I have to tell them all the time, this is too depressing. Like, why do you even expose yourself to this?
This guy's saying we're all going to die. I got to watch.
No, no one designed to says, John, I got a quick solution for your phone calls problem. Change your number. You're welcome.
No, I got that one friend will call Jenna. If I don't answer, he'll call Jenna.
Yes.
And Jenna's like, why is he calling me?
Like, dude, I'm about to get in the shower. Why is he calling me?
Yeah. T-Town Trekker says, after 40 years in corporate, my biggest eBaying weakness is scheduling my time. I feel like a disorganized mess some days because I don't have a set schedule.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You know what? I enjoy what I do. I enjoy how I do it. I love my day, and I'm not going to complain about it. Yes, I might get distracted throughout. I might stop, cook dinner, and I just enjoy my life. And maybe I don't do as much at night. Maybe I need to do more TV watching, but to me, that's just time that I'm not going to get back. I just enjoy the time.
I'm not asking for, 4 hours. I'm just, can you just sit?
Yeah.
Just sit without the phone in your hand.
We need to get back to watching some of the shows, like
Yellowstone came out, and
Endor, little Game of Thrones. We haven't finished that. I just like watching those kind of shows.
I want to watch Yellowstone.
Okay. Tommy says, I use the sleep and do not disturb function on iPhone like a pro. That's probably a good idea.
I do that.
Aurora 3 cases. I started my own website alongside with my eBay store. I only sell trading cards. Hope it goes well. Thank you. I appreciate that. 90 plus watching, 40 likes. What? I mean, there's only half of you guys liking the video. Come on, just do me a favor. Hit that like button real quick.
Just hit the like button. Come on. 91 people. Let's go.
Luz Nerita says, as a longtime part-timer, I've chosen a handful of niches that cover various markets that ebb and flow. I lost my place. And always that are well diversified. This keeps sales somewhat steady and researching to a minimum. Yeah, and you learn more about that item. You know when to buy it again, when not to buy this type of item. And it's good to niche down, but niche down to a type of item that's not, too saturated. Mr. Buys a Lot says, we opened our second account 30 days ago, sold about 6K in sales with like 500 listings. My bigger account with 175,000 listings is doing less than 3 times my newer, smaller account.
Wow.
Now, you definitely have a warehouse. That's awesome. And you definitely have a crew to manage that.
Wow.
That's awesome, though. You're making it work. So good. Good on you on that. Let's see. Sell both accounts, Tommy, trying to get rid of that 3K a month.
Change your name. Jenna, welcome.
Change your name?
Yeah.
I don't know where's that at?
No on design.
Okay. Yellowstone is really good. Kevin Coaster is great.
Coaster?
Yeah. I don't know who Kevin Coaster is, but he sounds like he's a good actor.
I love Yellowstone. That's my favorite show. So
see, Damian D says, today I sent an offer. The buyer countered with a lowball offer. I declined, and then I got a message saying they'll accept my original offer only for eBay to say I reached my limit. So tell them, you know what? Here's the deal. Go ahead and buy the item, and I will adjust the price. Pay for it, and I'll give you I got to do that actually because someone complained that they were getting a higher price, and it was letting me use the coupon, but when they checked out, it was at a higher price. So I said, I'll investigate and I'll give you a refund. So I plan on doing that after we get off here. Let's see. Oh, my wife said that Coaster is so his name is Coaster. Okay, Kevin Coaster. Tommy says, are you focusing on higher ASP, faster selling stuff, Brian, instead of that word I know, ephemera. Yes, that's like the older stuff that like old photos and stuff.
Can we stick it? Can we dummy it down, Tommy?
Well,
I have never heard of that word in my life.
Yeah, like old signs and stuff that people collect.
Sort of
Ephemera. Yeah, this is not your literacy hour, so I apologize for that. So. We are at hour and 25 in, guys, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for going through the whole earthquake live stream. That seems like this desk keeps shaking. It's because you have your leg on the table.
It's me.
I didn't at my desk, and she's.
It's
giving me a headache. Okay,
I didn't know.
I feel like I'm getting.
Anything.
I'm getting dizzy. So
this chair is super uncomfortable. Just FYI.
I was wondering why this damn table or this desk. I have a desk, right? And I have the
sorry, it's me.
I have the camera on my monitor, and anything that moves this desk, it's moving. So apologize for that. Yeah, ephemera is paper. It's like the old pictures and stuff, that I think your Dawn auction professors has a lot of that stuff. And you know what? I do know that there's people who buy it, yard sales, and they say it makes some good money.
Postcards, photos, pamphlets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I guess you learn something new every day.
We don't sell that kind of stuff. So therefore, I don't look for that kind of thing. I did find an old Time magazine at the bins. Hasn't sold yet, but I bought it for $25, and I'm going to get maybe $12, $13. And that type of thing. We don't sell that type of stuff, honestly. Collectibles once in a while, but right now the focus should be on getting better, more in demand, the need versus the want items. Nobody needs ephemera, if I'm being honest. They want it. It's something they collect. But right now, the market says that there's not as many people who are in that looking for that type of thing. And until things get better, I'd start looking, adapt to the business model. If you're selling the gold, necklaces and stuff like that, vintage or not, start looking for ways to open up, expand the type of thing you're selling to include things that are more in demand. And you're going to see a lot better, results with your sales. So guys, we're going to, let me just thank each and every one of you guys.
Thank you
for the time you spend with us. Chances are my mail carrier saw the 2 bags of mail sitting out in front of my front door and did a U-turn. So we're going to have to make a run to the post office and to get that stuff in before it's almost 5, like 4:30 here. So, guys, I got to just say, we continue to get people that think that they're doing everything right, they're sourcing everything right, and they're not doing their homework to find out that they're really not, and they're knee deep in competition. And it doesn't have to be that way. And you got to stop looking at eBay as the reason why you're not making sales. You got to be honest with yourself and just say, maybe
got to learn to adapt.
Yeah, and if you're not doing that, that's denial. It's part of the problem. And there needs to be like eBay Anonymous, where maybe, we have a program that says, look, you're not selling the kind of stuff that you need to be selling. But guess what, guys? It's yet another example of, for some people, how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have a great start to your week. And we will talk to you guys very soon. And darn it, Tommy. Thank you, buddy.
Pretty soon I'm going to have a real one.
I know. Keep it up. We'll get her a real one.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You guys have an excellent rest of your week. And real quick, Friday I will not be doing a live. I'm going to meet a few friends out at Parker. We're going to do the golf thing. And we got a little golf club that we do like once every year out in Parker, Arizona. And we're going to plan for that. So not going to be here Friday. I'll probably drop a video, but Monday will be our next live at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So until then, have a great week and make those sales, guys. Get those things listed.
Bye, guys.